Good morning and welcome to the Petitti Pro Garden Show. Thank you all so much for getting up early and being with us this morning. We have a special guest with us again. We have Dale Click, the president of the Fair Board. Good morning, Dale. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you bet. So we're going to go ahead, answer your questions, get the show rolling, and then we're going to dedicate a big portion of our show today to the Stark County Fair. So if you'll all take an attitude of prayer, and we're just going to ask the Lord's blessing over our show. Father, we just come before you this morning, and we thank you for your goodness, and we thank you for your grace, Father. We just ask you to lead and guide us in everything that we do, so that everything that we do is in honor of you and brings you praise and glory. And we just ask this in your precious and your holy name. Amen. So all of you that have been asking questions about trimming and pruning and transplanting, we're going to answer some of those questions. Several of you have been calling in. We've had a few cooler days, and some of you have called in and asked about transplanting. So if you are doing any transplanting or planning on doing any transplanting, please halt. Even though we're having some cooler temperatures, we really want you to wait till the end of September to do that transplanting. The exception is if you have hardy cactus. You can go ahead and transplant them if we're having a cool day and you're going to be home to do the watering. They have a nice little stringy root, and so it's not a real deep tap root that you're going to tear and disturb. So if you do have those, they can handle it a little bit better than others. But if you have daylilies, several of you have been asking about your daylilies, and that's because I know your daylilies aren't looking so good right now. Clean them up and leave them there for a little bit longer. Transplanting them is definitely going to shock them right now, and you will see them really have a lot of transplant shock this fall if you go ahead and do it now. So go ahead, clean them up, let them feed that rhizome with the photosynthesis that's going to take place throughout the rest of the warm temperatures, and then you're going to go ahead and be able to transplant them safely and even split them if you need to do that. If you have a large daylily and you need to split it into 3 or 4 pieces, put it somewhere else or throw it away or give it away, whatever you want to do. But that's going to be much safer if you do that later into the fall. Now, Linda's question and a couple other ones this week was about trimming your shrubs. And if you have evergreens or plants that have bloomed already this summer, and I'm not talking about your rhododendrons and your forsythia and your azaleas that bloomed early spring. It's getting a little late to trim them. Unless you really need to take size off, it's a little late to trim those ones that flower early in the season, because you will trim off some of your bloom for next year. But if it is your spirea, if your Rosa Sharon are done, if they're not, I would wait till after they're finished. But any of those summer bloomers, it's fine to go ahead and trim those now. As long as the temperatures aren't over 85 degrees and you can't comfortably be outside trimming them and comfortably taking care of those, then it's going to be okay. So like the last couple days, we've had some cooler temperatures. Yes, it's fine to go ahead. Your evergreens, you can really trim them at any time safely, as long as it's not over those high temperatures or under about 30. So it's they have a big wide spread of time that it's safe to do your trimming on those. Now, there are a couple things that I recommend. It's safe to trim them right now, but I recommend doing it a little later. And a lot of you know I'm a very frugal person, so I always say take advantage of everything. So your greens that are on your boxwoods and your hollies, those type of evergreens, or even your cypress that look really nice decorating for the holiday, wait till November and trim those. You can spray them with a little bit of wilt stop or wilt proof, and then you can bring them in and use them as holiday decorating or outside or inside for that case. But then you can use them. If you trim them now, even though it's safe to do it for the plant, they're not going to hold that long that you can go ahead and keep them and use them for that holiday decorating. So then you come, and not that I don't want you to come to me and buy more, but you don't really need to do that. Go ahead and wait and trim those plants at that time, and then you're going to be able to use them at that time. But the rest of those things, you're going to be fine to trim now. But remember, any of those early bloomers, you want to make sure that you trim them 6 to 8 weeks after they're done blooming for safety of not trimming off any of the following season's bud. If you have specific questions about a specific plant, you can always give me a call, or if you have any other questions at 330-455-5997 at the store, you can email me your questions at cindypetitti@gmail.com. That's CINDYPETITTI@gmail.com. Again, you can fax me your questions at 330-455-5998, or better yet, bring your questions to me so I can answer them personally for you at 5828 Columbus Road in Louisville. We're right on the corner of Columbus Road and Broadway. Now, we are going to be at the fair a lot next week, and so we have special hours. And I hope this isn't too much of an inconvenience for any of you, but grab your pencils because we are going to have special hours for next week. Now, you can always go to our Facebook page and find out our temporary fair hours. They will be posted as of today. When I get back, I'm going to post all of those hours, but we have special hours, and this is going to be starting on Monday morning. We're going to start fair hours. So Monday through Wednesday, we're going to be open from 8 to noon, and we will be closed all afternoon. On Thursday and Friday, we'll be open from 9 to 5, and Saturday from 9 to 4. We are closed on Sundays right now, and we will be closed Labor Day. I know years ago we were open a half a day on Labor Day, but as involved with the fair as I have become in the last few years, we're not going to even be open for a half a day. So we will be closed on Sunday and Labor Day. We will have normal hours on Tuesday following the fair, but for the fair, remember, Monday through Wednesday, that's this coming week, we will be open 8 to noon, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 to 5, Thursday and Friday, and 9 to 4 on Saturday. So you can all come out to the fair and visit me. I will be all over the fairgrounds, but a lot of time in the Farm Bureau building like I have in the past, but I'll also be in the Art Hall. We are running some sales for the next week, and not just for fair, but because of it, a lot being involved around agriculture. We do have tomatoes and peppers on sale at the store, grown right there on the farm. And we also are offering our cheeses by Hartzler Dairy that comes from the Greenfield Farms Organics. Those cheeses are on sale starting today, actually, through next Saturday, and they are going to be on sale for $3.59. Now remember, this is raw organic milk cheeses, so you want to take advantage. There's garlic herb and baby Lacy Swiss, so those are going to be our sale items for this week. Now remember, 5828 Columbus Road, and we will answer all of your questions. So we are going to dedicate the rest of the show to the Stark County Fair. And we have Dale with us. Like I said, Dale is the president of the Fair Board. And I just want all of you to know how much of a blessing, Dale, you have been to all of us. You have just been... I know there's been other great presidents in the past, but, and our listeners will really appreciate this. What you brought back to the Fair Board of praying over all of our meetings and asking for God to guide us is so important. And you and I have talked about this in past, but I know our listeners really appreciate that. So what are your aspirations for the fair and special things you want to let us know about what's going on?
So I guess the first thing would be thank you to our sponsor. First, thank you for the kind words. And for those of you that are listening, Cindy is amazing, and I encourage you to go visit her at her shop out there. But the biggest thing for us this year, one of the bigger changes, is sponsorships. Progressive Chevrolet has come back for the second year, and
right.
it is the Progressive Chevrolet Stark County Fair. So make sure that you visit. If you're looking for a car, go visit with them. We also have vendors we also have sponsors like we've never had with Precision Pipeline, sponsoring the Junior Fair side of things. AltCare, who has taken over the grandstand, and it's going to be the AltCare grandstand. We have some great entertainment going on in the grandstand. So I think the biggest thing for me, my personal goal, was just to get that attendance back up to kind of the quote-unquote glory days, getting it back up into that 100,000, 110,000 people walking through the gates of the fair that just gets it out in a really interesting way that people can come and experience the fair and know about the fair, what you and I have grown to love.
Right, exactly. And we have things going on every night. So Tuesday evening, it's opening ceremonies. And I know a lot of people in the past, they don't go to opening ceremonies. It hasn't been a big event. And I think that's really important to kick the fair off with an opening ceremony like we're having this year. And they can meet all of the board members at that time.
The board members will be announced. We're going to have, as far as I know, the county commissioners are going to be there.
Right.
We're going to have a state representative, probably have maybe have a senator. Scott Osleger may come. I'm going to do a little song and dance and talk. I'm not really going to sing and dance, but I'm going to do kind of a welcome to the fair. We'll open with prayer, the national anthem, and just hopefully set the tone for a successful week and just really get people there and say hello to them and welcome them to the fair.
And then that night we also have the Stark County bands from the surrounding high schools. They're all going to be there performing on Tuesday evening as well.
Yeah, we have 2 different band shows on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we go into kind of our headline entertainer. We have Charlie Daniels with Keith Anderson. So if you've never seen Charlie Daniels, he puts on an amazing show.
Definitely.
I've never seen Keith Anderson, so I'm looking forward to seeing Keith Anderson.
Right, me too.
But then we follow that up with Broken Horn Rodeo on Thursday, and that is, for those of you that are out there, that is a nationally syndicated rodeo where people are actually gaining points towards a golden belt buckle. So it's a big deal. You're going to get to see some of the better cowboys in the country. Then we have, obviously, a staple for the fair, truck and tractor pulls on Friday and Saturday night. People love those. And then
they do.
One of our biggest things is the demolition derby on Sunday.
I know.
Sometimes I can't understand it because maybe it's not my thing, but people love watching cars crash into other cars.
Exactly.
And it is a lot of fun, and it's a riot. And I encourage all of you to come out and take in whatever you like at the fair. And then Monday we have a demolition derby too as well.
Exactly. You know, demolition derbies have been my thing. I grew up, my dad was a demolition derby guy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and his company always had a car, and one of his employees always drove because my mother forbid him to drive. He was allowed to get it ready, but he wasn't allowed to drive. You know, he had a broken back at one time, so that's why she wouldn't let him do it. But I all grew up in the pit, you know. So actually, I keep teasing everyone. One of these days, I'm going to drive in the Derby.
Maybe we need to get you a celebrity race, and we could have Cindy in the demolition Derby.
It would be so much fun. I would love it because it is. I just find, you know, though it's not your thing, you know, it really is a really I don't know. It's a way to really get out there and vent
relieve
some
your
of
stress,
those
I
your
guess,
frustration. Yeah, I did garden tractor one year at Carroll County because that's where I grew up was Carroll County, and I did the Carroll County Demolition Derby, and they had garden tractors, and that was really dangerous.
Yeah, that's probably more dangerous than a car.
Yeah, there's no protection, you know. And I was like, this has only been like 6 years ago. I was the old lady doing it. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to kill me. But it was a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. And we're going to, we have a full pavilion entertainment too going on every day of the fair.
Pavilion entertainment is really more of the local flavor,
right?
And it's stocked. There's some of the names I can't even remember. What you need to do is go to our new totally revamped website. www.starkcountyfair.com. The website is amazing, and it has all the information you could ever want about the fair on there, and it does have the full breakdown of all the pavilion entertainment that's going to be going on during the week of the fair and the schedule.
Right, and we also have something else that's new this year, and that's electronic ticketing.
We sure do.
Yeah.
One of our sponsors, when I was talking about sponsors, is the guys from Country Fest. They do a country music show at Clays Park every year. They kind of joined up with us and helped us with our entertainment, and they're a big reason we have Charlie Daniels and Keith Anderson. And they kind of brought us into the 20th century. We just skipped over a century there, but brought us up to date with some electronic ticketing. So if you're listening right now and you want to come see one of the shows in the grandstand, you can log on and buy your tickets right through our website and attend any of the shows. So it's new electronic ticketing. It's going to be a breeze. We have people that are going to be there to just scan your iPhone.
Right.
Scan your iPhone and walk right in. So it's going to be a good time.
Right. That's going to make things so much more convenient instead of folks waiting in that line that they used to all the way up between the art hall and the exhibition hall. They wait in line all that time to get into the office to buy their tickets. Now they don't have to do that anymore.
They can literally be eating a sausage sandwich from the DeRusso stand and buy their tickets at the same
at
time.
the same time. And we also have a couple other new things going on at the grandstand, and those are food trucks, and we've never done that before.
So when you come watch Charlie Daniels or the Demolition Derby or the truck and tractor pulls, whatever you want, we're going to have food trucks out in front of the grandstand, so you're not going to have to leave the show to go get your French fries or your hamburger or your hot dog or whatever it may be. You can walk right down front, grab something, and go back up to your seat. And, even if you want, maybe hang out down there a little bit and eat your sandwich and then go sit back down. So that is certainly something that's going to be new, and I think it's going to be good for us, and I think our customers are really going to appreciate not having to exit the grandstand to go do things like that. They can just stay there.
Right, because sometimes going out and coming back in is sort of a hassle and those kind of things.
Yeah, especially on those busy nights when we have big stuff.
Right.
If you have to wait in line for 20 minutes to get a sandwich or something like that, you don't want to do that. So you'll be able to see the show from right where you're at and be able to get whatever fits your taste buds that night.
Exactly, right. We also do horse racing. And when does that horse racing take place?
Horse racing goes on Wednesday and Thursday of the fair. Dave Morrow, one of our board members, I think has spent the majority of his life doing horse racing.
Right.
And he organizes that all for us, and he does a great job. But it's a constant thing that we have to keep up with the grounds crew to make sure that the track is in good condition. And we really try to do our best that we can to make sure that the horse racing is one of the premier horse racing sites in the state when it's going on.
Right. Another thing that a lot of folks are talking about, Dale, is safety. And not just ride safety, but safety all the way around. How does Stark County Fair handle that?
So we work directly with the Stark County Sheriff's Office. They handle all of our security. So it's not, a lot of times you may go to a concert or a venue or a football game, basketball game, whatever it's going to be, and it would be an outside security company that handles that. I have nothing against the outside security. We just feel like we want to work with the actual sheriffs. So the sheriffs put together a bid for us every year. They know our needs. They know where they need to have people, when they need to have people at those places. And we just feel like safety is probably the number one priority, and it's really one of our biggest expenses.
Right.
But nobody in the board thinks it's a bad expense to try to keep people as safe as we can be.
Exactly.
And then the ride safety, we have a new ride company, Kissel Entertainment.
Right.
I'm really excited to have Kissel Entertainment on board with us. They set up the rides, they do initial inspection. Then the state comes in, they do their inspection of the rides, and then every morning, an hour before they open up, Kissel has all of their people go around and inspect all of the rides that they're running for that day. So, safety really is a priority for everybody. It's all hands on deck when it comes to safety.
Right.
We just want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward to keep everyone safe, no matter what they're doing at the fair.
Exactly. No matter if they're at the ag end or down at the ride end and all of those kind of things also. And we also have the pig racing. That is something that is a lot of fun. A lot of people haven't seen that, and that's at the, what do we call it? That's
that would be the south end the southeast end by the Wildlife Building.
Right.
I have to be honest, I haven't seen the pig racing yet, so I don't know what to expect.
It is hilarious. It's a hoot. It really is. I like you. I never had time to make it down there. Always other things going on. And one day I happened to be parked down that way, and I heard the announcer, and I'm like, I'm just going to take a couple minutes and run over. It is an absolute hoot. So if you want to have a really good time while the kids are riding rides or something, it's really a lot of fun. It's a good time.
I will make it down there this year.
Of course. Yeah, things are a little different this year. You have to make your rounds everywhere.
Right.
So there is so much for everyone to do at the Stark County Fair. It's not just for, I know a lot of people still think, well, that's for the farmers.
Right.
A lot of people still think that, but it's not.
We have so much. Literally, I've done a couple different shows. I was on with Susie Thomas this morning, actually.
Oh, my
gosh. One of the things that I love about the fair is I grew up a farm kid, grew up with animals at the fair. I was really accustomed to that end of the fairgrounds, But as you kind of look at it, there is something there for everybody. If you bring your 1-year-old kid, they're going to have a blast looking at the animals, petting the animals, seeing the animals on display. You can go to the other end of the fairgrounds. You're going to have rides and anything in between. And if you bring your 95-year-old grandmother, she's also going to be able to find things that are going to have a little bit of nostalgia with them. In the Grange building, baking contest, canning contest, the art hall with antiques and with quilts.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And all of the different arts and pictures and things like that. Our exhibition hall is going to be at near capacity. There's going to be a model train there this year that I am really excited to see. It's going to be about 20 feet wide by 60 feet long, so it's a big model train display. So there's a lot going on, and everybody's going to have something on top of the food. If you just happen to be hungry and you want something, just come grab a bite to eat.
Exactly, right. Yeah, and the Farm Bureau building is great, and I have to elaborate a little bit about the Farm Bureau building. You know how much I love it. And we're doing a thing that we did last year again, and having young animals in. And so we will be there feeding a baby calf with a bottle 4 times a day. So you're welcome to come and see that. And we'll be announcing that when those feeding times are, so that you'll know. If you're in the fairgrounds, we'll announce when the next feeding time is, so you can come and watch the baby calf being fed with a great big bottle. We also have a goat that's coming with a new baby goat, and she's nursing. So this will be great. You can see it naturally done. And
Absolutely,
then, you know, and then we have an alpaca. We also have baby pigs, turkeys, and then we actually have peeps and eggs hatching inside of the building.
Wow.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you need to see me, that's where I'll be a lot of the times. I'll be feeding that baby calf 4 times a day. So first time, 7 o'clock a.m. So
maybe I'll stop by and help you feed one of these
Okay,
times.
that'll be a lot of fun.
Experience with
and
that.
so we're going to be also doing something a little different than we have in the past. And that's going to be in the pavilion every morning. We're going to be doing prayer.
Absolutely.
And we want to invite everyone that if you happen to be in the neighborhood and you want to stop in and pray over the fair with us in the morning, we would love that.
Yeah, absolutely. The more the merrier. And like Cindy and I had talked, if there's 2 people there, that's going to be great. We're still going to hold prayer in the morning. If there's 1,000 people, that would be even better. So I would just like to personally extend that invite, if you're going to be there, to come to the pavilion. I don't think we set a time.
We didn't
what time?
set it.
So we're just going to set it right now. What time?
We'll just set it right now. 7:30?
7:30 in the pavilion every day.
Okay.
We will be praying before the fair starts and kind of gets going.
Going every day, right. And then we have a meeting as a fair board, which is open to the public also, and that's going to be at 2 o'clock every afternoon.
2 o'clock every afternoon, kind of once the morning stuff kind of dies down and before the evening stuff gets going. We're going to try make sure we meet as a fair board and wrap our arms around the situation and hopefully get all the good news of how many people were there the day before.
The day before, right. So we're all very excited about that. So we have a lot of stuff going on. Fair runs next Tuesday. It starts at, events start like right early in the morning.
Yeah,
we have shows
starting. As soon as we open up, there's going to be something for people to see.
Exactly. And then also judging in the Grange Hall is that day, and the sale. So if you want to come to a great sale, the Grange's sale starts at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, and you get to buy those cakes and cookies and breads. Let me tell you, some of those ladies, they know how to really bake.
That's where you want to be.
Exactly. That's where you want to be, and you can buy those things. And also in the art hall, you can see everything that's on display there. All the awards that were judged, they are being judged actually today, and all the ribbons will be up, so you'll get to see how all of that was. And, I have to commend Tim Ross. He does a crazy, amazing job in that art hall.
He does a great job.
That's so much work.
I spent my morning with Tim this morning. We had to drive to Ashland to get quilt racks to display all of the quilts. I think he sent me a text. I think we're at 91 quilts that we have totally entered. So there's going to be a bunch of quilts around. And if you've never seen someone painstakingly make a quilt, watch a YouTube video of how a quilt is made and then come to the fair and look at the quilts that are on display. It's not made overnight.
Oh my goodness, it takes so much time and so much effort. It's definitely one of those labor of love things. It is just amazing. I just couldn't believe how much I worked check-in during the week, and I could not believe how much work that was. But how amazing. I was so impressed that so many people from our county entered projects in the art hall. I was amazed, overwhelmed, even though I've been involved in the fair for many, many years. The art hall thing is just absolutely amazing to me, and it's such a blessing to the fair.
And when you say people, she's right. There is anything from kids. My nephew, I believe he's 5, 5 or 6. He entered a picture in the fair, to people that have antiques, to grandmas and grandpas that have quilts or whatever. It
right.
probably, I'm sure we somewhere have someone in their 90s that is exhibiting things in the art hall. So it covers a broad range of everything. It really does.
Yeah, it was amazing. I've been very impressed. So don't forget, Stark County Fair, it's going to start this coming Tuesday, the 29th. Gates open at 9 o'clock every morning, and it's going to run through Labor Day, and that's the following Monday. And it's going to be a great show. There's sales on Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, and Saturday all day. So if you would like to be a buyer, support your local 4-H, we would love you to come on over. If you need passes so that you can come in and buy, call us. We'll make sure that we get you those passes. Jerry Reynolds is our junior fair coordinator, and you can give him a call. He will make sure that you get those tickets if you want to come and support your local 4-Hers by buying a chicken or a beef or hogs, whatever your heart desires, if you want to buy one of those things. So we would love to have you there. So Dale, thank you so much for being with us today. It's such a blessing. We're all excited about the Stark County Fair, and we're excited about everything that's going on.
Thank you so much, and I hope to see all of you out there listening at the fair.
All right, look us up. Well, thank you all so much for getting up early and being with us today and listening. We will be right back here with you next Saturday morning at 8 o'clock on the Petitti Pro Garden Show. Thank you so much, and have a blessed week.